Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We got a new Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. It showcases Shao Kahn, now General Shao, Sindel, and we have cameos of Shujinko and Motaro. It's a lot to go through. There's a lot of big stuff, both gameplay-wise and lore-wise, as we'll talk about here. This is one hell of a trailer for a lot of reasons, and nothing else to it than to just talk our way through it. So let's rewind back and let's go to the start. So trailer opens up with Liu Kang talking about Outworld itself, and how this is a time of peace between Earthrealm and Outworld. And Outworld's got some good vibes, as you can see here, like Goro is on the drums. If we have a look at our peoples here, we have humans, centaurs, and Shokans just kind of all hanging out together, which in older timelines, the races of Outworld is very much kept to themselves, and the Shokan and Centaur straight up hated each other. Liu Kang states, while there is peace, some people want war. And then not so subtle cut to General Shao, not Shao Kahn. He's not Kahn in this timeline yet. He is the general of Outworld. And yes, he's still very much a nasty man. We cut to Sindel talking his praises, mentioned specifically he's the conqueror of the Kwatan Plains, which is the realm of the Shokan, so he's the one who brought the Shokan to heel in Outworld. And you can see here, he no longer has his iconic hammer, the Wrath Hammer. It even has a name, that's how iconic it is. He now has a gigantic battle axe, which he uses to great effect. And obviously this being gameplay, let's rewind a second, because he's got some good tricks with it. So obviously having a big battle axe uses it to great effect. When we start our combo structure here, quick air combo lands and juggles the foe down on the ground, and then ends up the string here, stabbing him with the end of the axe. Now here's where things get very, very interesting. So another quick string, and he goes for the big dunk with the axe, and the axe stays on the ground. And then Shao is moving freely after the fact. Now he does utilize the axe. In fact, he kind of forces Sub-Zero to kind of go belly first on it to a nasty degree here. But this means he's effectively somewhat of a soft stance character. And you're going to see this again later in the trailer. So this is probably a big part of the character, that he can leave the axe on the ground and has multiple uses for the axe on the ground, either throwing the opponent into it or other specials, as we'll see. And hopefully, as a stance character, certain strings or moves are better if he's holding the axe versus if it's out on the ground. From there, going directly back into some story bits, it seems that Sindel's talking to General Shao in a way that Shao's recommending open war against Liu Kang, as he believes Liu Kang is not on the level. Specifically, it's war or be Liu Kang's lapdog. And as you can see here, Shao is attacking the Umgadi, who are Sindel's protectors. So I'm assuming there's a fairly major disagreement between them at some point in the story. And speaking of the story, I do have a character bio for you for General Shao. Born into a proud military family, Shao was expected to become a soldier, but he was a sickly child who, though brilliant and eager, had an infirm body. Shao's disability infuriated his father. He dismissed his son's physicians and designed an extreme program to build his son's strength and endurance. Years of toil molded Shao into a physical colossus and forged him with an iron will. And as his father had promised, Shao had become the perfect soldier. His brilliant tactics and relentless effort won Outworld many victories and him much fame. Though General Shao is sworn to serve the Empress, his loyalty is to Outworld. If Sindel's rule ever endangers Outworld, he will be the first to try to end it. So Shao is running on an Outworld first platform, basically, which was kind of always the deal, just he used to kind of be a jerk about it. So keep this in mind. This is Liu Kang's new era, right? Liu Kang made him this way. Liu Kang purposely gave him a bad childhood. And it's only through the extreme parenting of his father did Shao Kahn kind of wind up the same way he was always going to wind up anyways. Liu Kang gave Shao Kahn a bad childhood. He's a jerk. Now from there, we cut to some Sindel gameplay. So Sindel, very airborne. We got a bit of a dive kick, as you can see here. And of course, naturally, hair strings, attacking with the hair, and the acrobatics, the big flip kick. And you're going to see that again later with somebody else. Spoiler. And now, Sindel can fly like she should, right? And not only that, let's rewind a moment. The Sindel fly is good, but don't let it distract from what Shao Kahn is doing here. So Shao Kahn is doing basically like a gigantic ground pound, and you can see a volcanic lair on the ground. So obviously it's not a true projectile because Sindel can fly over it very easily, right? But it is perhaps a way for him to engage at a range. So now this, Sindel, the Banshee aspect of her, less so much this time around, more hair stuff, because the classic projectile, she's not screaming it out, she's tossing it out with her hair. And hey, who's this? Yes, it is indeed Motaro. The rumors were true. And Motaro gives you access to classic Motaro moves, like his teleport. So we saw that the Kung Lao assist also gives you a teleport for the Kameo, but that was like also a bit of a combo because it leaves you airborne, right? And you can attack out of it. This looks to be pure speed because this looks very, very fast. And that's the beauty of the Kameo system, right? Now every character, no matter who you are, if you pick Motaro, you now have access to a fast teleport, and that's really, really cool. Here we get a look at Sindel's back throw. So very acrobatic, and then using the hair to very great effect to toss you around. And now here, calling in Motaro again, this is already going to be one of my favorite Kameo attacks. I can guarantee it, right? So this is his classic projectiles from Mortal Kombat 3 when he was a boss, right? And it definitely looks like the startup is slow, but he shoots 3 slow projectiles at you, right? And you can freely move. As you can see, Sindel moving around after he's called in. So you do whatever you're going to do. You get the knockdown, right? You call in Motaro, and you make them have to block this. And what are you going to do, right? You're going to mix, mix, mix. They block the first one, go overhead low. If you get it, great. If not, you get another try, right? Because if they try to hit you back or whatever, he's going to blast him with the projectile. And he gets 3 of these. I feel like this is probably going to be one of those style of Kameos where it takes the whole bar. Because on paper, man, to me, this looks super strong and super, super good. Just fantastic. I like this one a lot. Motaro as a Kameo, despite the obviously physical look, he looks really good. Looks like he's bringing the juice to the table. Now, Sindel, maybe less so, but she still has the Scream Queen potential, as you can see here. So it hits and leaves you in a bit of a capture state. She'll get a full combo after the fact. Also grounds you even though you're airborne, as we saw. And we can see here next, Motaro again. He's got those cybernetic implants, just like MK3. And this is his Kameo throw, which, yeah, it's basic, but it's also exactly what it was in Mortal Kombat 3, so I like it. Our next story bit happens, and it talks about, well, the Mortal Kombat tournament. It still exists, even in this timeline, although it's a bit of a more friendly thing between Earthrealm and Outworld, apparently founded by Jared, who is Sindel's late husband, and Liu Kang himself. I don't know why Liu Kang would want to create a new timeline with Mortal Kombat in it at all, but he's the boss, I guess, right? Also, Raiden specifically is the champion of Earthrealm in the new era. So that's our bit of role reversal. And General Shao is, let's just say, unimpressed with Raiden as a whole. But don't worry, as we can see here in the trailer, he has, his training arc, as it were, like in any Kung Fu movie, going from doing his farming and loading up the cabbages to the Kung Fu at the Shaolin Temple. We'll see Raiden's journey into a quality combatant, as it were, over the course of the game, I'm very, very sure. Unlike, say, Reiko here, who's in the background looking like he just got the crap beat out of him. Now that Baraka and Reptile are real characters, I'm very sure that Reiko is now the designated jobber. And now, some Raiden gameplay. We don't actually get much Raiden gameplay, despite the fact he's been announced forever, right? So he has like this kind of canned hit grab animation where he teleports, which is great. And speaking of teleports, he has a proper teleport, and it's fast! You whiff any button, you whiff any move, he's going to get that back throw on you like you see right there. A Raiden with a good teleport is a good Raiden. Then we cut back to cinematic story mode, basically more Shao running his mouth, which is exactly what he does, right? So, on brand. So now back to General Shao gameplay. Big axe normal strings. Again, same move that leaves the axe on the ground. Big knockdown, right? And now we can see here, he doesn't need the axe to do anything special, right? He's got big strings here. Meterless launcher string, which is always great. Can side switch with another launcher and then splat the enemy down. Doesn't need to utilize the axe, except he can lift it up and slam it back down to the ground as its own thing here. And going by like the VFX, right? The red quake lines. It basically hits the whole screen, right? So there's definitely going to be aspects of the character of sometimes it's better to have the axe on the ground. Sometimes it's better to have it in your hand to help out whatever moves. I'm digging this potential. It makes him more of a tricky character than you would expect him to be for sure. Also, as a little bonus, look at Raiden when he's waking up. He's crouch blocking immediately. So either this is an unblockable, or at the very least, this is an overhead. Either way is very handy for sure. Also, without the axe here, quick string, but you see the big stomp and then the big fist, right? Raiden does stand to block that big fist, which almost certainly tells me that's an overhead. You always got to look out for the small details like that. And now it's Raiden's turn. So big ground electricity does enhance it, which is a launcher, pops the enemy up here, and we can continue with more strings, and you can see just blasting people with electric energy. And now quick call here, we get a cameo. This is Shujinko, by the way. They told me as much in the press release. And through the benefit of this slow-mo here, what is Shujinko hitting Shao with? You better believe he's hitting him with his own axe. Yes, he has stolen the move from General Shao. So just like classic Deception, if you never played Deception, Shujinko is a bit of a copycat. He can see moves and he can pull them off, right? So it looks like in this game, Shujinko will steal the moves of other characters, as you'll see again later on. And now we do have a fatal blow here. So Raiden shooting that lightning, as he does. Shujinko comes in, just one hand here, just the assassin's fist, and then just literally breaking your neck with his thumb, actually making him look really cool. Because Shujinko's normally kind of a joke, but he looks kind of serious here. And then Raiden. So we're going like almost Injustice style here with the super, right? We got the storm, lightning, thunder crashing down from the heavens into the big boots, crushing your ribcage. More Raiden gameplay, so we can see a quick string, and it's going to end off with that hit grab we saw earlier where he picks you up and blasts you with lightning, except this is the enhanced version, and this will bounce you with additional lightning off the ground, and then you can recombo from there. Now, calling in Shujinko again, hey, wait a second. Old man Shujinko, are you stealing moves again? Yepper, so just like against General Shao, it looks like whoever you are fighting when you have the Shujinko cameo, he will steal moves directly from them and use those moves against them as a cameo call, which is very on brand for Shujinko, and I'm a very big fan of it. Now, here's one of the coolest damn parts of the trailer. So Raiden's lightning looks like he can charge it and shoot out multiple projectiles at once, except the Motaro cameo has a walking forward reflect shield that throws everything back in your face. So Motaro is definitely a very strong defensive cameo for sure, right? So it's not just projectile nullification, it's just throwing it right back at you. So if you're against a zoning heavy character and you're scared of those projectiles, you can just walk forward behind Motaro and he'll take care of everything. Now, Superman still very unsafe on block as we get a punish going directly into a fatal blow. On Motaro's end of it, it's about what you would expect, right? Good old headbutt with the horns and big old boot with the hind legs. Fair enough. And for Sindel, basically using like the Medusa part of her hair, just big old hair whips and kind of ripping your legs out. Back to the gameplay. Yes, it does appear that her cartwheel returns, goes into a jump into a meterless launch, it would seem anyways, and then air combo and splat to the ground, and well, then it's fatality time, and you know how it works on YouTube, so finish him, go check the official channel. Because you better believe I can't show it here. But that said, this trailer, all these trailers really, they've all been impressive, but this one to me is extra impressive, and yes, I'll admit it because I'm a Shao Kahn fanboy, right? I very much like what I'm seeing here, but also Sindel looks good. The cameos, the fact that Shujinko does the usual steal gimmick, I'm a fan of that, and Motaro looks like a really good cameo. He's actually the most impressed I've seen since I saw that Sub-Zero gives you invincibility against projectiles. He has teleport, he has long-lasting projectile reflect, and also a projectile lockdown assist, right? So he's really good at just screen control as a whole, so I'm a big fan of that. I like defensive assists, and he looks like that kind of character. Mortal Kombat 1 is less than a month away at this point. We're getting there. The finish line is there, and we got a few characters and a few cameos left to go. But as far as what was shown here, very impressive. Once again, too, Shao Kahn being somewhat of a stance character, I could have never have guessed that in a million years, and yet now that I see it, I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing. And as for the story stuff, I'm very interested in seeing a lot of the implications, because now it feels like Liu Kang's definitely messing with the people that he doesn't like. With the little story bio, he definitely made Shao Kahn have a bad childhood and made him weak specifically, maybe not accounting for his father fixing things. He obviously doesn't care too much about various outworld people because maybe he got rid of the mutant race of the Tarkatans, but Tarkat virus is very much there, and he allows people to suffer because he could stop it, I would imagine. He made reality at this point, right? I'm sure his version of Shang Tsung, to the best of his ability before it all goes wrong, because it's definitely going to go wrong, he'll try his best to humiliate him too. I don't know, I feel like a lot of the story is going to be Liu Kang's hubris, right? He thought he had it all figured out, and then just like Chronica, he's going to find out that no, little things keep happening that you don't exactly plan for. But that said, that's the trailer, my friends. It was a good trailer, and of course, look forward to the channel for more Mortal Kombat coverage in the future, because I'm very much looking forward to the game, and when the game launches, expect combos, guides, all that kind of stuff as well. That said, until then, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Mortal Kombat.